Good morning Facebook, Jaclyn Dunne here, and I am just doing a bit of an impromptu Facebook Live to let you know about my final workshop in my workshop series for the Mind Body Miracle book. So I have been doing a series of workshops that have been running over the last few Sundays, and they are to cover chapters of the book in much more detail. The final workshop is this Sunday. It's where we always hold the workshops, which is in the Saracen's Head Hotel in Dunmo. So it's Sunday the 4th of February at the Saracen's Hotel in Dunmo, 11 AM till 1 PM. And the title of this workshop is Heal Your Gut. Now this is a massive one for me, and this is because, as the title of this Facebook Live it explains, I actually cured my own autoimmune condition, which was pernicious anemia, which I had, to be honest, I don't know how long I had it for, because I'd always been quite a sickly child, always on antibiotics and quite poorly. And Julie, this is my last, Julie's asking, when are you coming up north? So this is my last workshop in the south, and I'm going to be releasing my tickets for Manchester. So I'm going to be doing 3 back-to-back workshops in Manchester, and I'm going to give all you northern guys a choice as to what content you want me to cover. So probably the next live I'll give you some more details about that. The final workshop in the south is Heal Your Gut, and it's about how I recovered myself from my autoimmune condition, which was pernicious anemia, which was diagnosed when I was 21. I don't know how long I had it. As I said, I was quite a poorly child, always on antibiotics and such like, and I think that was probably something that contributed to me having an autoimmune condition in the long term, because, as I will cover in the workshop, long-term use of antibiotics can actually destroy the gut lining, cause something called intestinal permeability or leaky gut syndrome, which can then go on to cause an autoimmune condition. This is definitely what happened to me. I talk about it a little bit in the Mind Body Miracle book. I talk about my story, what happened to me, and then how I went on to heal myself from an autoimmune condition, to the point where now I haven't had any medication for 6 years. So I'm still under a consultant, because they like to prod me about, because they can't quite believe that I'm getting the results I'm getting just through diet and lifestyle choices. But I have. For 6 years I've been medication free, and you know, I feel, and I have loads of energy and I feel great. So what I'm going to be talking about in the workshop is a little bit about my story, cover it in a little bit more detail, and I'll tell you the content. So obviously it's going to be how I healed my own gut, the process that I went through, how and why disease begins in the gut. So you know, we hear a lot now about new research that comes out, and there's a recent study that's suggesting that autism is hugely gut related. There's another recent study that came out just a few weeks ago about Parkinson's being related to the gut, and it comes out in like a big whirlwind, and everyone's like, oh my god, have you seen this breaking news? And actually 500 years ago Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut. So why are we saying this is such new foundings? It's nothing, it's not new foundings. Oh, Lucy, it'd be great to see you Sunday. So it's not new foundings that all disease begins in the gut. This is something that Hippocrates, who was the father of medicine, stated hundreds of years ago. So I don't know why we're so surprised now when research comes out that all of these diseases have been linked to the gut. So we're going to be talking about how and why they're linked to the gut, why the gut is kind of the president of the entire body, in my opinion. They call it the second brain. It's the only part of the body that functions entirely independent of the brain. And we're talking about the functions of the gut, and some of them are really, really surprising. I mean, when I start to cover about serotonin being produced in the gut, so when I work with people that are depressed, they actually didn't realise that their serotonin was being produced in the gut, which is their feel-good hormone, and they don't realise that actually you can start to really improve your symptoms of depression by starting to work on your gut health. In a lot of cases. So that's a surprise that that's a function of the gut, that there's serotonin being produced there. It's also often a surprise when I say to people that the majority of their immune system resides in the gut. So if you are quite run down all the time, or you have a child that's always getting coughs and colds, or you do, then it's always beneficial to start working on the gut health, because that's where a lot of the immune system is. So all of these functions of the gut, why it's so important to look after the gut, why it's always my go-to in constant consultations, I always look at digestive health, gut health when I'm working with a client, no matter what they've come in for. Anybody that's worked with me on a one-to-one basis will know I'm completely obsessed with poo, and I like to talk about how often they go, how long it is, what they see in it when it does come out, which people are always horrified that I'm so interested. But I always say to people, if you want to know what's going on in your body, have a look at what's coming out of your body. So we cover that a little bit in the workshop as well. We talk about what is leaky gut, which is intestinal permeability, what are the symptoms of that. We talk about food intolerances, why they're so prevalent, how we can get rid of them now, and what are the symptoms, because people are really confused. Sometimes they assume it's just IBS, or they assume that it's just kind of gut pains and stomach cramps, but there's so many different symptoms to food intolerances, such as joint pain, headaches, lethargy, sickness, nausea, insomnia. There's so many different ones, so we cover that as well. And then we look at the 3 simple steps to begin the gut healing process, and it's just 3 simple steps that anybody can do, and people can take home and start to implement this straight away to start to work on healing your gut. So it's a 2-hour workshop. I'll always give out some take-home handouts as well, so you've got something to take home and start to implement. So I usually talk for about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, and then we have questions afterwards. I will have copies of Mind Body Miracle with me. If anyone would like to purchase one and get a signed copy, then I'll be happy to sign them at the end of the workshop as well. So this is my last workshop in the south before I go up and take my workshops up to Manchester. I don't think I'll be doing any more workshops until the summer now, so your last chance to get along, and this is a really big one. Heal Your Gut is massive. I mean, it's actually what my entire story is based around, because I don't think that I would be working in what I'm doing today, and I don't think I would have the health that I have today if I hadn't had the realisation regarding my gut health and my autoimmune condition. So I hope you can join me on Sunday. So I'll recap. It's Sunday the 4th of February at the Saracen's Head Hotel in Dunmow, 11 AM till 1 PM, and it's Heal Your Gut. I'll post the link in the comments if you would like to book a ticket. Otherwise, I hope to see you there. Take care.